this video we are going to revise option constraints in the day 7. So let's understand it in this way. So previously we have discussed what are bundled products, when there is a product and within the product you have child products, okay, which you will sell together to the customer. So what happens is that option constraint means, for example, let's go to the screen and understand. Okay, so if you see, this is the product sports car bundle, okay, and in this product we have around multiple options are nothing product options. If you remember, we create whatever products that we want to link as child products. I can show you for a minute. Okay, so these are the option product options. First, this is the music system. I have just created and attached those products, those child products, and this is how the bundle is created. We are sorted till now. Now comes the option constraint. So now imagine a scenario. Let's go to the notes. Now imagine a scenario that when 8-inch product is selected, I don't want the 5-inch to be enabled. Okay, so as a sales rep, when I add the product, our product is related to the sports car thing. Okay, so what we want is, the first scenario is basically option constraints. Make sure we are constraining a slave. Okay, so slave and master, let's see what it is. So basically there is a scenario that the 5-inch, we have these two products which are the 5-inch and the 8-inch. Okay, so what that means is that whenever this is the slave, okay, if I click on this, okay, I will not be able to click on this. I hope you got my point, which is like mutually exclusive. So if you have to keep your own mind, right? If there is a car somebody is buying and they're buying some display, LED display, either they'll buy a 5-inch or an 8-inch. They are not going to buy both, right? So that becomes a option constraint, that as a sales rep I cannot select both the options, 5-inch and 8-inch. So that is the reason we create option constraints on the product. So this, how we create the option constraint is that this is go to the related and create the option constraint. So for example, the one that we have seen is 5 exclusive of 8, which means this is nothing but the product option of 5-inch. This is the product option of 8-inch. Constraint is the slave, this is the master, which means 5 is the slave. Okay, so 5-inch is the slave. If you go here and see, just forget about this option for now. The type is of 2. So two types we have in option constraint. One is dependency, another is exclusion. In this example we have understood what is exclusion, which means if 5-inch is selected, okay, we cannot select the 8-inch, right? So that's how it goes for the exclusion. Another thing is dependency. Let's go back to the notes and see. So exclusion we have already understood, okay, in the types of option constraint. Another thing is dependency type. So what happens is, there is a scenario that we can only enable the music system when the 5-inch LED is selected. So as a sales rep, by default, when I configure this product, I cannot select the music system until my 5-inch LED is selected. If I uncheck this and I go back, you will see I do not have the capability to select the music system. Why? Because of the option constraint that is created between the music system and the 5-inch, where my music system is the slave of my 5-inch, which means music system is constrained that until 5-inch is selected, you will not be enabled, you will not be selected. Okay, you cannot be enabled. So I hope we are good with the dependency and the exclusion type. Okay, now there is one more important concept within option constraint, which is option constraint group. Okay, so this is, if you notice, if you see here, I have added option constraint group. So normally whenever you are going to create exclusive or the dependency part, you are going to give the name, a meaningful name, the slave, the master, the constraining option, okay, and the main product bundle for which it is, okay, and then the type. This group, what does that mean? So imagine a scenario that if the customer will only be able to select sunroof only and only if leather seats are selected and ambient lighting are selected. Okay, so if you notice over here is, what I need to do is, this sunroof is dependent on leather seats. Sunroof again is dependent on ambient lighting, which means one I will create one option constraint between sunroof and lightning leather seats, another constraint between sunroof and ambient lighting, and how to link both of them, because then they should be able to select, which means it's a dependency, not exclusive, right? Exclusive, it like if sunroof is there we cannot select leather seats, right? Like that. Okay, so this is a dependency. Sunroof is dependent on leather seats, which means sunroof is the slave, which is the constrained options, this is the constraining option, and another option constraint, this is again the constrained option, this is the constraining option. And how to link two product constraints, if you see here, I created this sunroof dependent on leather seats. So this is sunroof, this is leather seats, and I have given this a number as product, this option constraint group as X. You can give anything. That's the point is that whatever you give here, it should be same as here, which means that if we are talking about sunroof, okay, the main constraint option, we are talking about the same constraint option and we want to group it. So we want to group it, which means we want to apply the and between both of these, which means the sunroof will be dependent on leather seats, the sunroof will be also dependent on lightning, not any one of them but to both. So that is the reason group comes into picture. Now what that gives is that until and unless this lightning, ambient lighting and the leather seats are not selected, we will not be able to select the sunroof. If you see here, it says requires leather seats and ambient lighting. This and thing is coming from that grouping, because the same slave is present on both the option constraints. I hope we are good with what is option constraints, what is the type of dependency, exclusion, and what is option constraint group. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.